Yo, there I am. What is up, everybody? OCD Mikey, Hi-Fi Guy here for another edition of the Mikey live stream, coming to you live on Sunday, the 16th of March, 2025, start date 2025. And got a really good show for you, really good show. Coming up, you guys know those two brothers, man. They have a funny channel. Hodge Brothers, man. Oh man, it's hilarious. Haven't watched them in a while. Haven't seen them in a while though. Anyway, so everybody, welcome to my show. This is a show where we talk about anything hi-fi related, even some things that aren't hi-fi related. Let me make sure my Bluetooth here is connected for the call-ins. Looks like it is. Let's see. Whoops, not that. Let's see. Bluetooth. Yep. Okay, good. We're there. Cool. So, welcome everybody. Johnson, going to be a good show tonight. Very good show. That's right. We're going to talk about conspiracy, the Chinese conspiracy. I'm going to go deep into this whole thing and share with you a little bit of my vision on this. See what you guys think. Sup, Mikey? All is well here in Killeen, Texas. Right on, man. Are you coming to the show, Tommy? I think you said you were. If you're coming to the show, you better holla at a brother. And so we can meet up at the show. I'll have a whole posse in Texas. So anybody that wants to meet up in Texas, just holler, and we will have people hanging out and a full-on group of the tribe. See you at the show. There we go. Beat me to it, man. Hey, Mike in the tribe. Greetings from Lincoln, California. There's Bob. Bob is the latest inductee into the Hall of Fame of a complete Mikey system. We're doing his whole room. We're doing the room treatment. I've got the acousticians, the tribe acousticians on it right now. And we're getting his rack together, and everything is going to go in a crate and ship out to him. A complete system. I don't even know if Dale knows he's calling in. Let's see if he's calling. Hey, Dale. Dude, you know that you're calling me in the middle of a live stream, and you're live with all the viewers right now, 70 people?
No, I didn't know that.
You are live in living color, brother. Do you want to say anything to the tribe?
Well, I was just going to call to make sure that you're coming down to the show.
I am absolutely coming down to the show.
So that's what I want to say to the tribe.
Yeah.
Everybody come to the show.
For sure. By the way, for the tribe, this is Dr. Dale from Texas, who was one of my early customers. Dale is one of the, I could almost call you a founding member, brother. So when I was a little pea pod in the industry and, struggling and making cables and Veristar cables and going down the squirrel hole and going bonkers out of my mind to make something that could actually compete well in the market, which they really did. Dale went ahead and placed an order. What did you buy? Like 5 silver cords? The first shot?
I think it was 7.
Could have been 7. So here's a guy that I'd never met before. He talked to me on the phone. He'd heard a little bit about my cables, I think, through the grapevine. And here he placed whatever it was, an $8,000, $9,000 order, which for me at the time was huge, and it was guys like Dale that helped carry my business forward at the time.
Hey, that's still real money today too,
It is. Yeah, it is. Well, it is. For some reason I think you probably bought 7 originally, but I think the initial order was like 3,500 or something. Because I remember being like, at the time it was a lot for me, but it was, I remember living for those sales, for the $3,500 sales. Like, oh my God, because they would help pay the bills. Huh?
We were on the same page. We were looking for the silver and the ribbons and the cotton and all the stuff that made those cords sound so good.
That's right, man. That's right. And Dale is a big tape guy. Dale has Dale's a little bit You're a little bit of a hi-fi hoarder, aren't you? Dave,
I am definitely a hoarder.
He's got the coolest shit that he's just got stashed away. You're like, you got what and where? It's in the closet, like a cello, like palette. You've got 2 of them. He always has 2 of some shit. You find something that you think is crazy that he has it, but he's got 2 of them. You're like, just in case, I got a backup.
2-seater AA20s.
AA20s, exactly. You go to his place, it's nuts, man. It's a lot of fun. Here's a guy. We even did a video, I think, one day when I was there in Texas.
That was last year at the show.
Yep. And we had a couple. Dave Schlegel was there. We had some other folks that were part of his local cohorts from the audiophile group, and we were listening. And what we were listening to. You know, these are guys that sit and listen to small changes, right? Like, what's it sound like with this other solder in the interconnects?
yeah, that's about right.
You know, yeah.
Hey,
so
everything matters.
Everything matters. It does, especially
everything matters,
especially in a very revealing system.
You know it. Even one little umbilical cord, a DC umbilical, and you can't believe that the system's the same.
I know. It'll drive you up a wall, man. Actually,
well,
if you got the time for it, it's all good. You know.
Yeah. Well, you make the time.
He's retired. Dale's retired now, aren't you?
No, I went half time.
You went half time. Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. That feels like retirement compared to how I used to work.
Yeah, no doubt. Dale worked his ass off, man, in the medical field.
That's right.
And Dale's a car guy too, man, and he likes the sleepers. He builds sleepers. He builds cars that are like don't look like anything, but they will absolutely spank your ass and leave you in the dust. Yeah.
Grocery getters,
undercover hot rods. Yeah.
Well, anyway, I just wanted to check with you. I'm not going to intrude on the podcast.
It's all good, man.
What day are you coming in?
I'll be coming in Thursday.
Okay.
Well, and I'll stay through the weekend. Talk. All right, buddy.
Well, see ya.
All right, see you.
Okay,
later. Yep. See, Dale knows the see you. That is one that gets used a lot. So anyways, as I was saying, Bob, I will be traveling out to California to set up Bob's complete system, which is going to include Fisher and Fisher. It looks like it's going to be 570s. We're doing the last calculations to determine if it's going to be 470 or 570. He wants the 570s. I want to make sure that I'm not overselling him. As you saw some of those rooms that I showed you pictures of, where there's dealers that will just sell as big as the budget allows for, right? So they oversell speakers into small rooms. They sell just giant speakers into small rooms, which, I'm not doing Bob any favors by doing that to him, So I want to make sure that we're not overdoing it with the 570s. And we will figure that out. But then it's a complete Fisher and Fisher, as you know, a complete Playback Designs front end, the Dream level, and then NAT audio transmitter monos, which is what I've been using here. And they're ridiculous. I just ordered 3 more pair. They're not, just to have them here. Absolutely ridiculously good amplifiers and very low maintenance. They're tube amps, but they use the big transmitter tubes, the big giant. I can't even remember what they're from. They're from Netherlands. They're bugle boys, or no. What's that other word? It's the one that makes bugle boys. Amperex. They're giant Amperex tubes, man. Crazy. You're like, dude, I had no idea Amperex made things this big. So Bob is going to be stoked. We'll make a video. We will show his surprise and his amazement, and just wait, Bob, until if you ever have, Bob, if you have people over that are audiophiles. I already had 2 people call me, bro, from the Bay Area that are like, dude, can we come up and listen? They really want to hear Fisher and Fisher. I'm like, Jesus, let me get it set up first. Then maybe you can just work somehow, Bob. But there's already 3 people that want to come listen. Last night, Tom Clark in Portland with the 4, he's got 570s as well. He had a group over, Robert and Robert's buddy, came over from Portland. I think they're part of the Portland audiophile group, and they listened to the 570s, and they were able to give him some pointers on maybe how he could optimize his speaker placement a little bit, just a couple little nudges. And these are steeped, dyed-in-the-wool audiophile guys that are in the audiophile community, like part of the audiophile group. And they gave him very positive feedback. They were impressed with, let me see if I can read this text. Very impressed. Here we go. Here we go. Robert's friend Bill, really impressed with the 570s tonality and mids. That's what this speaker gets that nobody else does, no matter what they are. Yeah. And yep. Let's see. Really digging the sound change. Moving them closer by 6 inches and decreasing the toe in I had really has locked in and concentrated the center image. Was great to have other folks to tap into. I've not had that experience before today. So that's great, man. That's what the tribe does is you guys, especially you guys that are coming into it and you're trusting Mikey and you're going full tilt right off the cuff. Okay. So Tom is, Tom went full tilt on the speakers. Some folks like Bob, for instance, Bob doesn't have a rig. So he's going straight in full tilt from 0 to 100 in one shot, which is great because I'm going to save Bob a lot of time, a lot of lost money trying to figure it out. He just completely is trusting in Mikey to take care of him, which is great. And I'll document it. I'll go there, we'll show, and we'll talk to Bob and he can give the feedback for you guys. But what is truly knowing, like, for instance, Bob's going to hear it. He's going to be blown away, but he might not actually know how good it is. If he hasn't been steeped in hi-fi, he may just think this is amazing, but not really know how good it is until other audiophiles come over. And then they're like, holy shit, dude. Like, wow, this has incredible tonality and mid-range, whatever, they say about it. But that's really knowing is when you get these steeped 70-year-old something, audiophiles that come by to listen and they've heard everything and they go to these guys' systems, these groups, like these audiophile groups, every week they go to a different guy's house. And, these are, some of these guys have $500,000 audio systems. And so you hear a lot of stuff when you're part of the audio groups. So if you have a local hi-fi chapter, fun to tap in. And just especially if they go around to different guys' homes and then somebody hosts and you get to, but we're going to do that ourselves. We will have that. This is a global thing. There will be Hi-Fi Tribe locations. We already have a dozen across the United States. If you want to hear something in your area, you can let me know. You can just contact me. And I can hook you up with people in your area, other audiophiles, like-minded people. And maybe you can make some new friends and have some new guys to hang out with. So I'm looking forward to that. So anybody who's in, I've already got a couple calls in from people in the Bay Area that want me to come by and tune their rig. So anybody else that's in between Sacramento and San Francisco or East Bay or San Ho, I won't go any further south than San Jose. But I'll be in the Bay Area and available most likely. Let's see. When is Expona? I need to work around that. Let's see. Expona is April 11th through the 13th. Crap. Okay, so let's see. So 11th through the 13th, March, April. So let's see. Okay, so the 11th through the 13th. So I may have to go out to Bob's. Let's see. Okay, nope, I can't do that weekend. Let's see. And then the 11th. So it might be either the 4th or the 5th, something like that, or the 18th or 19th, something like that. Anyways, it's going to be April. So anybody that wants me to come by and tune or put my ears on the rig and give you guys a ground, like here's where it stands. Like I will not. And you know what? I won't placate you. I will not shine sunshine up your ass. If you are having me come and you're paying me specially to come, I'm going to tell you exactly, here's the shortcomings, or damn dude, good job. I went to someone's place. I've been to a few places where I walk in and I'm like, you nailed it. Like I can't do anything. Like it is phenomenal. Like great job. And then there's sometimes I walk in and it's like, oh no, it sounds broken. Like there's something wrong. Let me find out what's wrong. So yeah, welcome to Masher. Hi from Richardson, Texas. B. Walker. Nick, what's up, Nicky? How are you, buddy? Nick Panizzi, the local, our guitar professional. Shane is here. What's up? Shane in the house. Good evening. Love the Hodge twins. Yeah, I know they're great, right? Very classic. Evening Tribe. There he is, Tommy Clark. He had the gang over yesterday. Happy idea of March. Yeah. Oh, is that what is that? St. Patrick's Day? Happy St. Patty's, isn't it? Wasn't it like this weekend? Happy St. Patty's to all the Irish out there. We saw the parties going down. Shoot, Ides of March. Oh, there you go. Ides of March. Okay. Hey, Mikey. Hope you had a great weekend. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it. I did. It was good, man. Just finished eating some damn pappardelle pasta. I don't normally eat pasta, but when I do, I eat pappardelle that is handmade. So it's stuff that was made this morning. It's not dry pasta. I don't like dry pasta. The stuff that you get in the bags at the grocery store. Like it has to be soft, like fresh made, right? With all the flour, little granulars coming off it and shit. And then it's just so good that way. I eat it so rarely that I'm gonna do it right. It's and it was good. I had to test out some new pans. Mikey went all Betty Crocker on your ass this weekend, and I bought some frying pans from Williams Sonoma. How about that? That's how Betty Crocker I was this weekend. I went and got some Heston, I think they're called Heston Nanoclad. Damn, some nice pans, man. They're not nonstick, but they are an amazing mirror like finish. It's a titanium encapsulation or something like that. Pretty high tech pans from Williams Sonoma. It was time to just do it. I'd gone through pans that would burn out every year. You just need to keep getting new ones. You buy these $50 pans that are nonstick bullshit, ceramic, whatever. And then a year later, they're toast, man. Everything's sticking to them. They suck, And so I said, shit, I'm going for it. So they were a little more expensive, but in the long run, I think it's totally worth it. And so tonight, I made pappardelle, and then I sauteed some shallots, fresh garlic, Italian parsley, butter, white wine, and shrimp. Gamberoni. I pronounce it wrong. Gamberi. I would say gamberi, but that's not wrong. I think it's gamberi. So there's my practicing of my Italian. Good evening, tribe. What's up? Dan, welcome. Dan may call us. He may not. He may call in with a story. He's got an interesting story of some amps that he bought a while ago and something that he went through with the amplifiers. And I'm going to catch up here, and then I'm going to get on to the subject of tonight, which is the Chinese conspiracy to eviscerate the market. And, this could, and Philip, I'll come right back. This could, I think, in many ways, translate into other industries, because I've seen it happen with the Cuban cigars. Not the same way exactly, but let's see. I'm almost. Let me catch up, and then let me go into it. Could I please tell the audiophiles the importance of a well acoustically treated room? Yes, it's important. It's important, but you're not gonna. I'm not one of the guys that says spend $20,000, turn your damn room into a recording studio with clouds and all sorts of shit and all that stuff. It is important. Is it retarded? Like you have to do it. It's a good thing to do. It's a good like first step. You do your AC power. You do AC power filtration, and then you put some bass traps in the room. In the back corners. And then you can put some in the front corners if you want, but you don't need to go nuts. For instance, Paul, I don't know if Paul Grabdall's watching right now, but Paul is a client of mine who just bought the 370 speakers from the show, the Fisher & Fisher 370s. And he called me up and said, I called him up, actually. I called him up to see, I follow up with my guys that, how's everything, man? Is it doing everything you want? He's, well, I'm wondering how do I get a little more bass? Well, that's my first idea that something's wrong, because these speakers have absolutely zero lack of bass, right? And he sent me a picture of his room, and his whole front wall was all absorption, man. He had huge corner traps from the floor. I mean, the triangle corner traps that jam into the corner from the floor to the ceiling. And then he had like 8-inch deep absorbers across the front. And then at the first reflection points, he had stuff. He had things. He had so much. I'm like, dude, you need to start with everything out. Like, take all that shit out and then put it in 2 by 2, like, 2, 1 on each side, then try a second pair. If it's too boomy, try a second pair, all that thing. And so he did change that, and it made a difference. So you need to, you don't over damp the room, man. You'll mess it up. And people get too zealous about stuff. Something works well, and then they want to do it on everything. Like, there used to be little tweaks, like you put a little pad on top of your, CD player at the time or something. And then, on top of the chassis. And then people are like, oh my God, it works so good. So you put one on top of the amp. Oh, it works. Then they put like 15 of them. Then the next thing you know, they're putting them inside their switch panel, like where the breakers are. And they're like, they've got them, under their chair, and they're sitting on one, and they're wearing one on their head. And it's like, dude, you need to chill the hell out. Don't overdo it. You can easily overdo it with room treatment. And when people get really zealous, you don't need to put anything on the ceiling. Okay. And it's just typically the corners, maybe first reflection points, depending on your type of speakers. Some speakers, you don't need to have them on the first reflection points. Some you do. So it is an important thing. But typically, for those that don't understand what a bad room sounds like, it sounds boomy with bass. It sounds echoey, and it sounds boomy with bass. Traditionally, when a room is going to sound bad, is there's sound or bass waves that are hanging out in the room and decaying slowly. So then the new stuff is hitting, and the old stuff isn't completely gone. So you need to get that bass out of there. That's the most important thing. Then there can be room nulls, and if you want to start getting into that stuff, man, now you're pulling out a microphone and a laptop, and you're starting to look for room nulls, and you're trying to figure that out. And boy, now you're graduating into the squirrel hole, and you can spend a lot of time doing that. I typically say, get it to where it sounds great, and you feel like, I don't even care about hi-fi anymore. When you get to that point, then you don't need to measure. You don't need to worry about room notes. You don't need to worry about anything, because you're across the line. But the key is to get it across the line. Congrats, Bob Dundon. There you go, Tommy. Yes, another West Coast system. I love a good rack, don't we all? Hola, everyone. What's up, Christian? Welcome. The Magma M HPS amps are supposed to deal with an impedance down to 2 ohms. Have you tried them with loads that tough? I have used them on Magna pans, but I don't think Maggies go down to 2 ohm. I think Maggies go down to 3.8 or 3.6, something like that. So, but I have my new speakers will go down to 2.9. I know that. So, and I will be using the Magma Evo on them, not the Magma M, but I do have Magma M's here, which is kind of a scarce commodity. And I have NOS tubes for the Magma M, matchlet, made in the United States. Really kick. I mean, unobtainium, absolute unobtainium to find 6C21's NOS made in United States. Holy shit. That's typically you have to buy Russian tubes, but to find one that's untouched from whatever, the 50s, made in USA, I've got 13 of them. And they're big, man. I mean, it takes huge boxes that I have with these things. So if you're lucky enough to own a Magma M, I've got, you can get a Magma M with backup tubes that are American made, and you can tube roll which is to be able to tube roll with a tube that uncommon, very, very rare. So I do have a pair of Magma M's that will be available. Yeah, they're available. That's how much I don't want to sell my stuff, right? It's like, even though it's bought in order to sell, like this is inventory for you guys, I'm still like, oh God, I don't want it to go, man. I want to still listen to it. But my loyalty is to you guys first. So you guys get it before my desires is your desires. A lot of these Hi-Fi companies use the same OEMs. That is true. And companies like Vincent Audio put Western branding on OEM China products. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I've had Chinese product here with fake Furatech IEC inlets. So if they're willing to counterfeit and print Furatech's name on an IEC inlet, that means they're probably willing to do it with WEMA caps. They're probably willing to do it with other capacitors and different things and just make it look like it's something that it's not. China does not have scruples about that. They call it, what do they call that? Free enterprise. They smile and go, free enterprise. And you're like, okay, that's black market stealing. But, different laws and different things for different folks. And I'm getting to the end here where I can actually free up. It's 30 minutes in. I've got to get to the subject. Martin Haywood is watching. Thanks. Tall Paul, how about Trump's conspiracy to eviscerate all audio? That won't happen. Nice troll bomb though too. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to mark up my products that I import if I get hit with any import duties. You guys are safe with Mikey. Let's put it that way. I'm not going to give you some bullshit that because of COVID I had to mark it up. Oh, because of tariffs or the new president and I have to mark it up. It's just a way for people to have an excuse to mark shit up, and then they can complain and blame it on Trump. Oh, you have to pay more because of Trump. I won't do that to you guys. I will not. Fight the power. Fight the power that be. Doom, doom. That's King Trump to you, Tall Paul. That's right, Eric. Look at Eric's got the flag right there. You know it, brother. Greetings from Denmark. What's up, Kenneth? Welcome, man. Bob says, anybody who wants to stop by once we get the system in, give me a shout and stop on by. Cool. That's what I said, Bob. I said, look, let me get it set up and dialed. And then if you want to talk to Bob, I'll hook you. And I know these guys, Bob, they're good guys. So you got nothing to worry about. In terms of having creeps to your place or whatever, they're good people for sure. They're my inner circle. Hey, Mikey and Tribes people. What's up, Jasper? Welcome, man. George says hi. Oppa. Aloha, Tribe. Mikey, Dan checking in from the Big Island. What's up, brother? What's up, y'all? What's up, Alan? Congrats, Bob. I'm nearby in Stockton. Hope to hear about your experience. There you go, Tony. All you have to do, Tony, get in contact with me. I can give you Bob's info. Costa. Oh, here comes Dan with a call. Hello from Toronto. Oppa. We got another Greek in the house. What's up, Costa? Hang on. We're going to take this call, and then I'll come right back to you. So hold on. Whoops. I was going to take that call. I just pressed the red instead of the green. Let me come back and find where it is. Where is he? Dan. Where'd he go? Whoops. There we go. Okay, I'll call him up and we'll be able to do this together. You guys can even hear it call in. At least I feel like doing a prank call.
Hello.
Hello, do you have King Charles in a can?
I do.
Nice, dude. Let him out. Okay, buddy. So I'm sorry about that. I accidentally pressed the wrong button. And
you have me calling again?
Yeah, and no. We're good. You're on the air.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well,
buddy.
Listen, Mike, I don't know which direction you're going to take this live stream tonight, so I just want to call on right near the beginning of your discussion.
Cool.
To your topic, and just share a couple short stories.
Okay, great.
Cool. So back in this pertains to some Chinese products I bought over the years. In 2003, I bought a pair of Hurricane monoblock amps from Kevin Deal out of Upscale Audio, along with a Aesthetics RIA preamp, and that was back in 2003. You know, I don't know, the price was back then, you know, $9,000 dropped cash. I got everything in. Everything was fine. The Hurricane amps, they came in shoddy boxes from Kevin. Not too surprising. They're heavy amps, but one model block was dead on arrival, and basically Kevin washed his hands of it. And so I went to the North American distributor out of Toronto.
Oh yeah.
It needed a new input board of some sort.
Okay.
So they sent it to me, and I I had to install it myself. I had they sent me directions. I had rebuilt several Dyna tube amps in my day when I was a professor back in Urbana, and so I knew what I was doing with soldering on it. And so that worked out fine. But the Hurricanes Alligate made in China, one model block was dead on arrival, and there was no customer dealer support by Upscale Audio. The second product was
okay. Wait. Before you go on, let me say that that is not the first time that I've heard of Chinese products breaking, and then there is really no support network necessarily here in the United States, and they just send you a replacement board and tell you to go inside the unit and replace it yourself. So you're not alone in that.
That's what exactly my experience was. And the second short story is my Jay's Audio CDT Mark II CD Red Book Audio.
The thing that I sold you.
I bought from Mikey. It was my first purchase of Mikey back in 2018.
I used to sell Chinese stuff, by the way, you guys.
Yeah. And
there's a story there.
And he was proud to do it.
Yeah.
And he gave me very little discount to no discount.
There was no room. I made 10% on that shit.
I know, Mikey. I get it. He asked Alvin to drop ship it from Singapore. Alvin did it. It came in. It was a flawless delivery. The transport worked flawlessly ever since 2018, 2019. Could not be happier. There was a problem. I don't know what had happened. Maybe it was an issue with. I know exactly what happened. There was an issue with the remote. Maybe I was using a streamer at the time. But I think that the batteries in the remote were Chinese Chinese original batteries, and the remote got corroded. And so
they leaked out nuclear fallout.
So what happened was I contacted U.S. support. They sent me a new remote for a small money. And meanwhile, when I was dealing with the old remote, I was able to clean it out, get the contacts cleaned up, so I could use it. So there you go. Now the thing about Mikey's transport is that the transport works perfectly. Has worked perfectly since 2019. And the beautiful thing about Mikey, as opposed to Kevin Deal, he'll stand by his product. He'll stand by his product.
Yep.
And those are two very short stories about Chinese products I want to share with the group.
Thanks, man.
One worked really, really well, with the exception of a crappy.
So you got a 50% failure rate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the other product from Upscale was a piece of crap. So
unfortunately,
there's still boat anchors. I still have them.
Oh, bummer. I can probably get them. I can probably get them fixed for you. If they're broken, if they're working, put them on. Sell them to somebody listening right now.
Yeah, they're fixed. They're fixed. I mean, they're ready to go.
The Hurricanes were big, man. They were big, beefy ones, weren't they? Yeah, they're like 150 or 200 watts
channel,
and they were like EL34s. Or were they 6550?
I think they were 6550s.
Okay. Yeah, and what was the name of that brand again? I remember the brand. They were black. What was the name?
I can't remember.
God, that used to see that stuff all the time, and I remember the guys in Canada that used to bring them in.
Yeah, it's now Toronto.
Yep. I remember that brand. I remember the distributors. I talked to them. I was going to sell that here in the U.S., but
you dodged the bullet, dude.
I dodged
the bullet.
There you go.
Jesus, they're heavy. They're heavy, and they're extraordinarily heavy.
Yeah.
And that's the real problem with them. You know, that
Well, look, somebody listening might want them. Anybody that wants them, Dan wants to get rid of them, man. He'll sell them cheap. I can already tell.
All right, man. Talk to you soon.
Okay, buddy. Take care.
Okay,
see ya. Bye. See you. Okay. So if anybody that is listening would like to call in, the number is 415-484-5121. All you got to do is pick up the phone and give a call in and bring what you got. I'm happy to discuss it, or you can share a story or whatever you like. So let me get back to where I was. George says, Mikey, how's it going? Okay, I'll get to High-fidelity Group in Richmond Hill, Ontario, Canada. By the way, why is it that some of you Americans want to take over Canada? This is the first I've heard about it. As far as I'm concerned, you guys can have it. I don't feel that way. I would like to visit though. I would like to go to Banff. I mean, Canada, British Columbia and shit like that looks absolutely retardedly gorgeous, man. I mean, what a beautiful place in the summer, of course. Maybe if I was a skier, I'd have to go practice a little while. And then, I used to ski when I was little, but Canada looks beautiful. But no, man, I don't know what you're talking about. You're probably talking about something political, and I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, wonderful. You tell it as it is in the real world. Yes, I do. That is, you either love it or you hate it. Hey, Mike, are you planning a visit to Raleigh, Durham? I am. Love you to tune my rig. I'm not, man, but you know what? Is Charlotte? Charlotte is on. I'm thinking of just for shits and giggles doing an Amtrak trip. It might be the worst thing I ever do, or it might be fun. So the first shot is either and I looked, where does it go north from Atlanta? Where does it go south? South, the only place I'm really interested in going on the train where it goes would be like New Orleans. And then north, it goes up through Charlotte now. And I don't know if it goes through Raleigh, Durham or not, but if it does, I could just go, fall asleep on a train or, whatever. And come on up there. But I doubt that I'm going to drive up to Raleigh, Durham to tune a rig. I wouldn't do that. As you guys know, because I don't charge that much. I charge $500. If I'm flying up, you're going to pay a plane ticket. You're going to pay my accommodation, and you're going to pay, probably $1,000 for my day. Just because I don't have time to do that stuff, and for me to come, but if somebody wants to take care of my flight, my accommodations, and $1,000 per day, then I'll come and tune the rig. So I guess I should just offer it. But I mean, truth be told, I don't have that much time. But I know it is good to have some ears on it. What might be more realistic is, as we build the tribe, I will have experts in your area. So whether they're in Raleigh, Durham, or they're close, that they can drive a couple hours away and then put their ears on it after I've trained them, or some of them already know it. So we will have that as the tribe develops. Hey, Costa, I'm also in Toronto, GTA, Oakville. Christian is up there. Right on, buddy. We can start our local hi-fi tribe. There you go, man. Do it. I thought St. Patrick's Day is on the 17th of March. Tomorrow? Right? Okay, well, everybody's partying because tomorrow's a Monday, so everybody's partying here this weekend. Tom Clark was a very important Irishman, 1916. There you go. Graham Kelly, says Ned Kelly. Yep, good cookware is important. It is, man. It is. They're good stuff. Cordone, what's up, man? Just get carbon steel. Okay, I looked at carbon steel. This stuff is pretty damn good too. I'll try carbon steel, and then I can give you guys a report. I'm looking for American-made stuff. This was Italian. The stuff that I bought today was Italian, but I want to try some American carbon steel. I found this place called Smithy's that makes handmade, hand-hammered shit. It looks pretty cool. Thanks, Tom Clark and Tony D. Yeah. Yo, tribe, what's up, David? David will be playing, by the way, for anybody interested, at, let me tell you what room it will be in. at the audio show. By the way, we will be in the room with Angie Lisi of American Hi-Fi. Hi, Ange. And room 1403, American Sound, American Hi-Fi. I said American Sound, room 1403. We will be having a live listening session with David, who is a kora player, and which is a stringed instrument from Africa. It's really amazing. It's like it's an acoustic stringed instrument, and we can listen to it on the audio rig. We won't be able to record and then listen to him live and then record him live and then do the playback, but we will be able to listen to like a CD of his, and then or a stream of his, right? And then he can play live, and then you can it's not exactly the same because we're not recording it in the room there, but it will be a close way to see kind of what how close is this system to live. And that'll be in Dallas, Texas at the Hilton Anatole, Anatole, Anatole in Dallas next weekend. So get your ass over there. If you're in the area, come by and listen to some hi-fi, because there's going to be some great systems there. And come to American Sound in room 1403. Is that what I said? Let me make sure. American Sound in room 1403, and say hello to Angie. Find Angela and say hello. Tell her you're part of the tribe, and then she'll kick you in the shin. No, it's good, people. Angie's great, man. She is the matriarch of hi-fi, and we love her dearly. Not every video, please. Most of us can't treat like they want. Can't treat like they want. I don't get it. Okay. What are you implying by eviscerate? Oh yeah, the Chinese manufacturer. I don't buy from China anyways. Okay, so yeah, the subject of what we're talking about. Let me go into this. Okay, so let me pose a question to you. Okay, so we've got on one end, we've got the same country. We've got China, who is undercutting the market. Okay, so we know in many ways that's China's game on the world stage for economics, is to come in and undercut everybody, sell shit ridiculously cheap, because they can, right? Because they have slave labor over there, right? People live at the factory, blah blah blah, whatever. I don't have to go into it. They completely oppress their people, and their people have no life in many ways. Not all of them, but in many ways, other than just living and working and going to bed and getting up and working over and over. Whatever the reason is, they undercut the industry, okay? And they sell stuff for really cheap. And then, people love it because everybody loves a deal and everybody loves to get one over on the system, right? Now, here's China bucking the system, and everybody can be like, oh, I got a giant killer, okay? I'm not going to go into why I can't. Like, when I hear that's such a cringe-worthy term, giant killer, and you'll see it used again and again. It's used by people that don't know really much, and they just use it. It's just, and it's also for just people that don't have the words, don't know how to talk about hi-fi, so or things in general. So they will call it things that they will call certain Chinese products giant killers. It's just a big thing. How exciting, the new giant killer, so they undercut the industry, okay, and they flood the market with undercut stuff. So it taps us. It hits our middle ground, because people will claim, or people that don't want to buy the $5,000 DAC, if that's too stretching for them or something like that, instead of finding a $2,500 DAC from Denmark like I sell, they'll buy a $2,500 or a $3,500 Chinese DAC because they just think, because it's from China, it's the cheapest. Okay, so they undercut the market, which hurts our market. Second of all, they sell direct to our market. So there are no people in many of these things, many of these topping, custard, friggin' mustard, Denafrips and Jay's Audio and Kinky Studios and all these shit that they pop up like mushrooms, right? And they sell direct. Okay, so that means there is no U.S. counterpart even making money off it. I was the US counterpart for one time. I was the only guy in history that was selling those 3 brands that had a US lock on it. I had an exclusive distribution agreement for Kinky Studios, Jay's Audio Lab, and Kinky Studios. Okay. And during that time, I made 10 points on the product. But I did it because I figured it'll give me a lot more notoriety. I'll get to know a lot more people if I'm the only one in the US selling this new flash in the pan, super trendy Chinese chi-fi crap that was just starting to burgeon at the time, right? And I won't go into why I stopped. Well, maybe I will. Just the every once in a while. So I dealt with a guy, a middleman in Singapore named Alvin, really good guy. Okay. Alvin's good shit. He was great, kind, accommodating, always very communicative, spoke English. He was a good guy. Every once in a while, I would get messages from the Denafrips directly, and then Alvin was like the go-between, and he would give me these messages, and they were so heinous and stacked in their favor and against and not giving a shit that instantly when I see him, I would flip out. I would get immediately pissed, and I would type Alvin back this very angry thing, and he'd be like, relax, okay. I get it. Like, for instance, one time they're like, stop carrying every other brand and only carry our stuff. If we're going to give you exclusive representation, we want you to give us to be your exclusive brand, the only thing that you carry. Yet they're giving me 10 points, right? So at one point I realized, holy shit, I'm dealing with communists. This is why they're like that. This is why they don't give a shit about me at all. It's only one-sided, and they're being and they're demanding things. I had to outright defy their demands. That was the only way to. There was no negotiation. It was just tell them fuck off. Like no. That was like it was. So it was not any sort of discussion that went on. It was an unreasonable demand, and then a defiant no. And then that was it, right? But I realized this is how it is doing business with communists. These guys don't give a shit, and probably in their own country. That's how they probably B2B. They just, here's what you get. Shut up. This is all you're getting, and that you have to live with it. Fortunately, I don't have to live with it. So in the end, it was like I was selling a lot, but here I am taking in $100,000, and I'm sending 80 of it, or 90 rather, 90 of it to China. And I'm like, there's something wrong with this. I'm sending way too much money to China and making way too little. And they're not appreciative. They're demanding. They want more. They want to squeeze more from me and give me less. So I'm like, forget it. I'm not, I don't want to do business with the Chinese, period. I just don't want to do business with them. And that's why I left. And now I kind of got off on a tangent, but I think it was prudent that I tell you why I stopped doing business with them. Okay. So on one hand, we've got the Chinese undercutting everything. On the other hand, we've got the Chinese buyers, okay, the wealthy Chinese billionaires that are buying $600,000 speakers. Okay, $500,000 speakers, $250,000. I will guarantee you, if you ask DCS or MSB, why did you guys make $250,000 DACs? They will say, because our Chinese customers demanded it. You have no idea how many brands have given me that reason, for their retarded expensive stuff. Because the Chinese demand it. They want $1 million deck. They want more and more expensive stuff. Now, you must realize the reason they want it is because they have new money. They're trying to flaunt it. Maybe, or maybe, just maybe, they're trying to eviscerate a luxury market and make the market reliant upon them. What I mean is, every time a company sells out and goes for the Chinese dollar, Boulder, a great example, American brand that sells overseas a ton of the stuff because it's big, hunky American iron, right? So they turn all their sights on the money, right? They sell out for this Chinese buyer, right? And now this company, say Boulder or whoever, I'm just using them as an example, they're geared up and they're dependent on suckling the teat of the Chinese buyer, right? And they're in many ways alienating their core buyer who got them to where they were, which is the United States buyer, maybe the middle premium buyer, but not the trophy buyer, right? but because they can't help themselves, they have to go after the money, and they're greedy, and they whatever it could be. Maybe it's not greed, it's just business, good business, or whatever you want to call it. They put all their energy towards this selling the big stuff. Why would they sell the little stuff if they're selling the big stuff consistently? Okay. Meanwhile, China, the same country, is selling and undercutting the hi-fi business, selling direct. So no American dealer is making any money off their shit. They're selling it direct from China at an American dealer's retail price. Okay. So when you're buying that DAC, say the Denafrips Terminator for $6,000, that is $1,000 DAC. If you were to buy it from China, trust me, I used to buy direct, okay, and not in the Denafrips situation, but I used to have products made there. I know how much it costs to make. They're peanuts. They cost nothing. The idea of a Chinese DAC sold direct to the United States for $6,000 is absolutely ludicrous. You have no idea how overpriced that is. It's ridiculous. That is maximum a $1,000 DAC, and probably more like an $800 DAC. Back in the day when you used to go on and you could find, there was CaddyLink, there was different, and I'm not saying CaddyLink was any good if anybody remembers CaddyLink, but like I knew there was Shuguan, Yakin, Doosan, oh man, it's been so long since I've thought of these names, but I could come up with a handful of full tilt Chinese manufacturers for hi-fi, and they would badge the shit for you. No problem. You just tell them, I want stuff badged with my name. No problem. They silk screen it with your name on it. And you tell them, use these caps, do this, put it in these colors, whatever. And then they make the shit for you and you bring it over. So I bought the stuff. So I know how little it costs. So what they did was they eviscerated all of the American private label. Well, not all of the American private labelers. Kevin Deal, funny enough, has, what is that? Prima Luna. Okay. The Italian named Chinese tube amp, right? Great marketing, give it an Italian name, give it a tube, and audiophiles don't know the damn difference. Sell it from an American, call it American designed. Don't say made in USA, say designed in USA. Or, designed and assembled in USA, have them leave the last screw out. You put the last screw in it when it comes back to America. Obviously there's a certain percentage. You could buy empty chassis and then have them ship the chassis with the boards outside of the units. And then they arrive, on the dock, and you take them into your shop and you assemble the boards into them. It's 100% Chinese made, but you do the final assembly so that you can put assembled in USA on the box, right? All these are little tricks that you do to hustle you guys, the end user, and and sell them for more than they should be sold for. So the Chinese have figured it out. They're now eviscerated all the dealers and they're selling direct. Okay. And at the same time, they've got our valuable dealers, our valuable manufacturers, the ones that make the good shit in the United States, forgetting about us and going upstream to sell to the Chinese rich buyer, right? What happens when the Chinese stop buying on the rich end? Okay, that's going to really screw us up. That will leave a bunch of alienated US brands that have lost us because we're like, that dick went for China. Like, we remember, Boulder, back in the day when you were not making, when you were you sold out, and I'm just using that name. Maybe they didn't, whatever. I'm just throwing a name out there. So maybe I should say, anybody. It could be anybody, okay? We remember when you left us, there was this wasn't to do with China, but I did have, you've heard me say this. There are many brands that at one point they double their price and they go upstream chasing that money. And what it does is it alienates the main level guy, and it pushes us, or the main level guy, or the beginner in many ways, into the hands of the Chinese, because the Chinese are coming in with the $5,000, $7,000 things instead of the US handling that like we used to. Okay. So where does that leave the market when the Chinese rich guys stop buying and we are already pissed off at the manufacturers and their stuff? They're geared up to make expensive stuff. They're going to start backpedaling. You're going to see those companies start making, you're going to see an $11,000, at Boulder, and then you're like, oh, okay. So now all of a sudden you need us buyers back and you can make this shit for 11 grand, but you've been selling it for 111. all this time, and now you're showing us that you can make it for 11 grand. So now I'm even less likely to buy from you because I understand what a dick you are, you know, what a sellout you are. Okay, so it totally subverts the marketplace and it turns the market. It spoils the market. It spoils the market. All you got to do is undercut on one end and then buy at the super high end on the other side, and you can fuck up a market. Okay, that's my conspiracy. That's how I look at this. I think there's something going on with this bullshit, and the reason is because every single manufacturer that I ask, why did your shit get so expensive? They all say Chinese buyers. So there you have it. That is just, now it's my speculation. I have no evidence or anything like that, proof, whatever, you know, it's just my speculation completely. You know, why would they do that? You know, well, China has a 100-year plan to try and take and dominate globally, right? And that means from an economic standpoint, a manufacturing standpoint, a technology standpoint, all that shit, right? And they're not kidding around. They're like, we won't fire the first bullet. We will subvert the United States in ways that they don't see coming. Okay. And here's a possibility. It is very possible that fueling $6 million speakers or whatever, $100 million speakers and $600,000 speakers is China. Okay. So what a great way to eviscerate a market. So please share your comments with me on that. That is, I just laid it all out for you. So you guys can come back with some comments if anybody wants to call in. If we got any economics professors or anybody that's like, Mikey doesn't understand it, because maybe I don't, you know, I'm just a regular dude. I said, well, acoustically treated, and we'll wait. I'm going to catch up here. Cheers from Lincoln, Nebraska. Wondering if your opinion or thoughts on Danville Nexus DSP. Great stuff, man. I totally trust Danville. Mikey, what's up? What's up, Fabiano? I dig that. Do you got long hair? You kind of totally need long hair with that name, brother. I am looking forward to seeing you Friday night at Expona. Right on, Zig a dig dig. Man, I asked you last time, you didn't answer. Do you have 2 scooters? Let's ride up on hogs, dude. I'll cruise up and we can ride bikes, man. See, Harley guys, we never have just one Harley. Sometimes we do, but most of the time we have more than one bike. Hey, Mikey, have you tried Furatech GTO D3 NCF GTX D3 NCF? Yeah, a friend uses them with JPS Labs power cables and swears by them. Are you talking about the wall duplex receptacle? I have tried NCF. What are they? GTX NCF R, NCF rhodium, nanocrystal formula rhodium, GTXD NCFR. GTXD NCFR are the ones that and I put them into my power strips. Yeah, man. I mean, the power strips that I sell that are Virastar power strips, I don't have one in here. They're in my room. But they're loaded with those. Yeah, it's good stuff. You know, but I got to tell you, man, I did a video one time, one of my early videos, looking at the Furatech GTXD, you know, $300 freaking duplex receptacle, and I've got the power cord leaning, the coming out of it, like the weight of the power cord, and it wasn't even a heavy power cord. It wasn't hospital grade grip. It was like lame grade grip, and I'm like, this thing is built really well, but the grip on it is weak. It was kind of upsetting to me. So I don't know if they ever fixed that, but I haven't, you know, Furatech is good stuff, but in many ways, if you look around, you can find commercial level things made for medical equipment many times, or for like communications or microwave or comms, you know, sat comms and shit like that. You can find a lot of things that where the function is crucial and the reliability is crucial. You can use it for audio, and it also works good because it's in a crucial type, you know, a medical thing, you know, keeping the guy's ventilator going. That's an important freaking duplex receptacle. You can't have a plug lean and fall out of that shit, or someone dies. So, you know, or a SATCOM thing, you know, it can't come disconnected. It can't have noise. It can't have interference because it'll jack up a missile or something, right? So, you know, any of those that's why people say a mil spec. It's military spec or it's NASA spec, because you can't F up on that. I mean, space travel, shit like that. How long does those big woo doggy? How long do those big NAT tubes last for, and how much do they cost to replace? Also, are they easy to find when you need a new one? They are easy to find when you buy from me, yeah, because I have extras, and they last for 10,000 hours. I have many of those tubes out. Even Nat has told me they still haven't seen the big tubes go out. One has never burnt out. So they last longer than any other hi-fi tube. They're not hi-fi tubes. Those are radio transmitters. So, and they're military radio transmitters. So they are extremely reliable and extremely long service life. And if you replace them, I think worst case scenario is like $1,000 a tube. So not even the same cost as like a good 300B. So they're not any more than 300 Bs. Good 300 Bs. Hey, Mark, or hey, Mikey. I'm reading Mark's thing. I think I need a swill. What do I have today? I've got this same thing, Michelob Ultra 0.0029 calories. But it has a crisp finish. And no aftertaste. So I like it. It tastes like shit beer. It tastes like shit cheap beer, but it tastes exactly like cheap shit beer. Whereas the other ones don't taste exactly like imported bottled beer. They don't. They just taste different. This tastes authentic, like real cheap shit beer. And it has a clean finish, which I like. Mark says, hey, Mikey, a million protesters in Serbia after 15 people killed in railway station roof collapse. Construction corners cut by a Chinese construction company. Well, look at that. Corners cut by the Chinese. You're kidding. Oh, God. Don't even get me started. Don't even get me started over here. Dan DeBaca. Hey, Mikey, I know you've touched on this before, but can you reiterate why I2S from streamer to DAC is not all it's thought up to be, but trendy now due to consumer demand? Okay, so, excuse me. To be, I haven't done any research on this in years, but back in the day when I was doing streamers and I was, the first DAC that I had 15 years ago had I2S. April Music, Simon did I2S. I2S is a hack, okay, so that you all know. I2S is a way to transfer data, okay? And it's a way to transfer data that is not SPDIF, AES, USB. It's just another transfer protocol. It was meant to be on the board, on the motherboard, and within, I think it's no further than like 3, maybe 6 on the outside inches from the converter chip, from the DAC chip. You're supposed to have it right freaking next to the chip, so there's no legs on it, no antenna, if you will, for noise and clock degradation and whatever, So they hacked it and they put it on a HDMI protocol, and they made I2S run on a video protocol so that they could upsell you a freaking resampler or upsampler or some shit. A clocker, they can put the clock on the outside. They can do whatever. You have to understand, man, this shit gets old, okay? And with the people, unlike Mikey, that tells you, look, I can get you out of this with one shot. Okay, look, Bob in California, you guys are all going to go along with this and go along with this whole trip and everything. You're going to see Bob is going to get knocked out of hi-fi in a good way immediately. He's going to have made one purchase, and one dude is going to come over. Well, I'll have help. And he's going to buy one time. He's going to have his rig done, and then he's never going to want for more. He's going to be checked off the list. Now, if my interest is to keep selling you again every year, not get you off the list, See, what happens is a typical dealer has like his local guys. So he's got a very limited reach. So he has to keep regurgitating sales to you guys over and over again because he doesn't have the reach that I do with the YouTube and with my channel and with my tribe. My message goes across the globe. So I can sell as much as a traditional dealer network. So I don't, if I just get everybody out of hi-fi, I will be able to do this every day, sell a system until I retire. I don't have to keep regurgitating to you guys again and again, but most dealers do have to keep regurgitating the same account book over and over again and keep bugging you guys to buy new shit. Every couple of years, they got the new greatest thing. Oh, I'm just calling you to check up with you, man. I want to tell you about this new DAC that I got, or the new speakers. They're great. And every year, every couple of years, they always have something new. Well, they run out of shit, okay? And the manufacturers run out of shit to give to them. So they have to make shit up, right? You have a great amp. You don't need to change it. But what are you going to do if you've gone through your local book? The dealers are going to be like, please make some new shit, man. I need to sell some new shit. Give me new products. What's new? What's new? What's new from the manufacturers? And they're always scraping and clawing to find new brands to carry and then bring it in and tell you it's the greatest new thing. Okay. So part of that is the manufacturers creating different shit that hasn't been done. Okay. So they created I²S. Here's some more shit we can sell to the people. We can tell them that they need I²S. We can sell them outboard clockers and, basically I think that's what reclockers, and we can give them the good clock, the clock that we should have put in the DAC that we didn't put in the DAC. We can give them the real one. And then instead of putting it in the DAC, we'll put it in a reclocker, and we can instead because it's easier for them to pallet $4,000 or $4,500 in a pop than it is to just buy a freaking MPD8 for 26 grand and have all the top level shit. It's another way to go about that. To make you spend the 26 is to nickel and dime you for years and get you to add an outboard power supply, an outboard dual mono power supply. That's 2 power supplies. Like look at Total DAC. That's how they do it. They box. You get all these different boxes. Okay. Now you're really clever if you can make them where I think Total DAC, you need all that shit to begin with. But if you can make a DAC that works on its own with its own clock, but then we can give it a reclocker and you can add that to it. And then you can add a power supply to it, but it does have its own power supply. Now we've got a little game, a little deal, a little hustle, whatever you want to call it. And we can sell you now $4,000 at a time because you can pallet $4,000 at a time. It's not 24 grand, but we're going to punch it out of your pocket regardless. It's just going to go $4,500 at a pop, so it's just a different way to sell shit, a different way to just keep selling you shit. The DACs haven't changed, man. There's nothing new in DAC design. We're still decoding 1644 and all these 768, 1264, all these super big, nobody records in that shit. It's just farce. It's folly. It's bullshit. And then they pitch you, oh, you've got to have you really want the new, and China totally does this. They totally sell the spec. Goes up to now, and you're like, ooh, this one doesn't do, this one does, whatever, 1452 instead of 768, and this has got to be better. Well, you got to realize nobody records in that. No, I mean, it's rare that somebody records in 24,192. Anything higher does not, that's made up shit. Anything higher than 24,192. Very few audiophile company record labels will record in DSD times 2, DSD times 4. Maybe they'll do in some, something higher than 24,192, but it's very, 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 very rare. Okay. So all this shit is just how to keep people buying new stuff. Think of it like toothpaste. Toothpaste is the same shit that it's been forever, man. But every year they have to give you some new thing on the package, new flavor crystals, new sparkly this, new peroxide, new biome, gut for the gut bacteria inside. New, they have to keep keep doing new shit, or you're gonna get bored of the same thing. You'll just start buying something else. So they realize if they make something new, you'll go for it. So it's the same thing with the DAC. It's regurgitated shit. So they need to make shit up, make up the I2S, make up the outclocker, make up the outboard power supply, make up MQA, new thing that you need to have MQA on your damn thing. Oh, don't buy it unless it's got an MQA chip in it. Total bullshit. Now they're out of business. I mean, this is all a crock of shit. You just need to buy the brands that are good, solid brands that don't need all this cockamamie bullshit in order to get you to buy it, right? And you can tell by the marketing. Prime example, look at Past Labs, for instance, man. You either know, and it's the same with Playback Designs, it's an insider's brand. You either know it's the shit or you have no clue. And if you have no clue, you're going to fall for the companies that have all the pretty marketing and all the neat icons. All you have to do, make an icon for everything, and maybe I'll patent, like you see our trademark. These are my trademarks: Audiofoil, Virastar, Grand Illusion. I have trademarks. So I have trademarks that I own that I can put Grand Illusion TM, and then, and nobody else can use Grand Illusion. And I can put, Audiofoil TM or whatever, and then make a fancy little logo for it, an icon. And then I freaking plaster that shit everywhere. It's like Dolby, right? Like DTX or DS, what was it? DTS. Remember the DTS thing? And then you plaster it everywhere. And then people think, oh shit, I need to get the DTS on it. I need to get the, chipmunk underbelly. I need to get MQA. I need to have the MQA silkscreen on the front of the machine, So this is all just fuckery that we do to get you guys to keep buying shit and keep you never satisfied. I stand against it. I stand against that. I get you guys off, and I will keep showing you time and time again. We will go to Bob's. Tom was a great example. As more people do this, I will go to every place and make videos and show you guys how people are off the merry-go-round. And I'm going to show Mikey getting people off the merry-go-round so you don't have to keep chasing your tail. And it doesn't mean you have to spend $100,000. Okay. If you have the means, you can. And here's another great point. Okay. Somebody contacted me the other day and he was going to buy, and he did buy something, but he told me, I bought some divorce speakers. He said, I bought some little divorce speakers and they were $6,000. So I didn't expect them to be shit. I said, whoa, wait a second. Hold everything. Bring that back around. What did you just say? And he said, and I said, did you just tell me you spent $6,000 on a pair of small shit ass monitors? And you didn't expect it to do shit because it was just an entry level little shit ass monitor for $6,000? You spent $6,000. I'm like, dude, for $6,000, you should expect Magic for $6,000. You should expect Magic for $2,500, right? You should never be buying stuff and thinking to yourself, I have shitty, low expectations of this thing. That's messed up. Why would you buy anything that you're having low expectations of? It's lame. It's bullshit. So anything that I sell you, I guarantee it will kick the ass of anything that you had before. Even if it's a $2,000 DAC, even if it's a $1,000 DAC, I expect that you're blown the hell away at that $1,000 DAC. I search far and wide, close and near, wherever. I find you the products that blow your ass away at whatever level of price there are. So it doesn't mean you have to spend a ton of money to get off the merry-go-round. It is all relative to your means. I can work within your means, and I don't suggest you spend beyond your means. This is another thing. Do you see financing on my website? No, I don't finance for people. That to me, that's trying to get you into some shit you can't afford. I don't do that, man. I don't suggest you make payments on a freaking stereo equipment. What the hell is that, dude? I don't even suggest making payments on cars, but I get that, that's whatever, it's a car. There, people are set up, people are conditioned to make payments on shit like that. Maybe you make a payment on a house, but so I don't suggest overspending. I can work within, you don't have to spend $100,000 to get a wicked system. I can make you a wicked system for $25,000. Is the $100,000 system going to be freaking 4 times better? Yes, absolutely it will. It might even be 10 times better. It will reach into new realms. Hey, Tribe, just checking in from Hawaii. Right on, Clark, man. Welcome. OCO, everyone. I find you all well tonight. Man, is this, did you change your name, brother? Because OCO, I've only had one guy ever say OCO, and it's a Native American term. Adir Bashem sounds Hebrew to me. But the guy that I knew that used to say OCO was Native American living in Kentucky or something like that, or Ohio. He was like out in the plains somewhere. So clarify. Did you change your name? Daniel. I think his name was Daniel. Mikey, what's on the wrist? Breguet Marine, titanium. So this is the Breguet. You guys have seen it. You know, it's a great piece. I love it. Super light. They're very fine piece. Yeah, I'm taking a little chill on the watches for a while because I bought this Breguet and the Cartier, which is solid gold, recently, and now it's gonna take a little time, take a couple months or something like that. I need an all black watch and I need a white watch and I want a thin watch. Those are like the three things that are on my radar. So yeah, Costa. Title made me laugh. I think they know most people just want to listen to music. Who's they? Don't kid yourself, man. The Chinese are hustling, bro. They want to undercut. They're trying to kill other markets. They're trying to extinguish other markets and make people reliant on their cheap ass products. That is what the game is. Make the world reliant on our manufacturing and make them lose their own manufacturing. Look at what happened to this country. Now we're finally starting to make chips. We're going to make integrated circuits here, chips. But because we put all our eggs in their basket and got greedy and had them make everything, we had that huge chip shortage when all that shit happened. Why? Because they oppress their people and they don't let their people go to work when there's some freaking pangolin virus. Wet market virus. I got it from a pangolin. Pangolin cookie. Antique Sound Labs. There you go. That's exactly who it was. Antique Sound Labs. What a shitty name for a company. You know? You want an antique? Do I want an antique? No, I don't. Somehow it worked at the time. ASL. Antique Sound Labs. It sounds like you're buying an old piece of shit that's just kind of cool looking. It's like, why? I don't want an antique fucking tube amp. You know? It's funny, some of the names that they pick. I saw there's another name from like Europe. What was it called, man? It's really funny. It's called, oh my God. Oh, I can't remember, but I saw it the other day. I'm like, what a horrible name. I can't believe you called your company that. Best knives I've owned are Shun from Japan. Yeah, you know it, man. I don't have Japanese cutlery yet, but I do have American. Whoops, look at that deployment. Yeah, that's pretty quick. That's a Benchmade made in United States. Tanto tip. That's a stabulator right there, brother. Yeah, so I love cutlery, man. But I bought, what did I buy? I bought Henkel's. No, what is the Trident? Is that the ones from Solingen, Germany? Maybe it is Henkel's. No, but I think Henkel's is. I can't even remember. It was a long time ago I bought that set. It is time for me to get some new knife set. They still work freaking great though, man. I mean, they've not disappointed. They were Trident. Is it Henkel's Trident? Is that the same company? I can't remember. Anyways, Solingen, Germany. We just bought Hexclad cookware. Dude, I almost bought Hexclad, but guess where they're made? Ding, 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 ding. Exactly. So when I went this time, I'm like, I'm not buying Chinese anything. Hexclad does look nice. I almost bought it, but then I just couldn't do it. What did I miss? You are going to have to go back and listen, aren't you? At what price range is aftermarket cables worth it for my hi-fi system? Dude, how much money do you make per month? I mean, I can tell you just generally speaking, you know, and you didn't even say what kind of aftermarket cable. So I don't know if you're talking power cord, speaker cables, whatever, but you really shouldn't have to. There should be nothing ever over $5,000, in my opinion. Ever. ever. No cable in your system should cost more than $5,000 ever. That is we can put that on a damn t-shirt. No cable should ever cost you more than $5,000. OCD Mikey. You can put that on a t-shirt because it's bullshit at that, whatever. Look, as a cable company, you have to do the same thing. If you just make a good cable, then you're not going to have anything new every year because cables aren't changing. We're the only ones that invent stupid shit. You know what's changing? Wireless. That's where the world's going. The world isn't making better, more intense cables. Only we are. We're making, and then we just do stupid shit to try and make it $25,000. Trust me, I did this again and again. I have a patent in cable design. I know how to make a cuckoo level cable. We just talked about it with Dale. Dale helped me get started, and along with other buyers back then in making cables. And I know all these materials, all sorts of materials, how to warp the sound, can make it sound all sorts of different ways, man. Then all I'm doing is jacking up your sound. It's like, how do you want me to make your system sound? I can make your system sound sharp or dull based on the cables that I make you for your system and any shade in between. So, it's you should never pay more than $5,000 per cable. I sell cables like, for instance, on 11 stereo, my 5-foot power cords are $500. The 8-foot speaker cables are $700. And then I'll have interconnects in there, probably $450 for a meter or $500, something like that. And then I'll have Ethernet. I've got sick Ethernet cables. SPDIF, AES, all that shit will be up there. I just have to get my guys on it. Good evening, everybody. What's up, Stereo? Eric, David's music been my main inspiration past week, besides Andreas Vollenweider. Vollenweider? Love it. Yeah, man, it's good stuff. He's talking about David Gilden's music. Did the Meitner MA3i meet my standard enough to sell it or recommend it? Yes. What are the differences? Good point. We talked about it last live stream on Amadeus came on for a little bit, and I'll be hanging with him, and you guys will see some more of him. He's Ed Meitner's son. The MA3i gave a little more edge, a little more leading edge to the Sonic, and which gave it a little better presence and image. So it images, it was less soft. And yes, I am going to carry it. And that is it. And it's $11,500, and it has a streamer in it. So this thing is for the person that has, $11,500 to spend on your front end. This is a complete front end. It is a volume control. So it's a preamp, a digital preamp, a streamer, and a DAC. So all you need to do is add an amplifier and speakers. And it's $11,500, and it does meet my standard. This is something that is, and it's also going to be something that is even better with like the horn speakers. So you saw the horns that I have, and holy shit, dude, those horns are crazy. It's like putting a microscope up the butt of the music. Like you see into the music at such an intense degree that you're like, like, I mean, seriously, it's shocking how much you see into the music. I'm going to do a little more testing with them. And I think their full sweet spot is going to be with 300B, 8 watt per channel type amplifiers, 20 watts or less. I think that's where they are going to find their sweet spot. I play them with things more powerful. And I should put them also with the Grande Note. The Grande Note amps are also more on the mellow side, so they go well with the horns. But it's definitely a different listening experience. It is very intimate with the music. It's a different sort of a thing. Saturday at 5 p.m. Yeah, if the show it's Saturday 1 hour before close. So if the show closes at 6, then it's at 5 p.m. If the show closes at 5, then it's at 4 p.m. So I don't know when the shows close. Maybe 21 strings on your instrument. Cool. Your watch has me stumped. What is it? Oh, you couldn't see. Yeah, I already showed it. It's a Breguet. It is a brand that has been around since like the late 1800s. It is. I really can't pitch it because I don't know enough about it, but I just know from doing the little research. I also rely on gurus. So the way that I ask you guys to trust me and believe in your audio guru, me, I have a watch guru, and he's actually a client of mine. And so I just listen to him, and I say, and then I look and then determine like what I want, and then I show him. What do you think? Is this a good one? Oh yeah, that's a great, that thing's beautiful. It's got a history. He'll tell me the whole history on the thing. It did this, they did that. That was the first movement that did this. It came from here. It used to be this. They were the first company to do this, blah, 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 whatever. So I'm not a Rolex guy. I'm not a Rolex. I'm not Panerai. I'm not Tissot. I'm not AP. I'm not, remember how I told you how I do with hi-fi? I go in and I find shit that I'm not, first of all, because there's just so many things out there. It's easier to find things that I'm not than to find things that I am. So those are the brands. I don't like Rolex. I don't give a shit. Okay. I know it's a great brand. I don't like it. I've got one. It's just going to sit. I don't like AP. Just something about it. Just something I don't like AP. And it's another amazing brand. I don't. I respect greatly Omega, but I don't want an Omega. I respect Breitling. I don't want Breitling. I don't want Tissot. I don't want Tudor. I don't want there's a bunch of shit, that I and there's things that I like. I like Breguet. I like Blancpain. I like Jeju Le Culte, okay? Otherwise known as JLC. Love JLC. There are some interesting other brands that I'll go into the foray of some of the smaller brands a little later as I learn this. But for now, I've got my main biggies, and then I got a Cartier because it's a classic. It's a Santos 100, and it's a classic. And I wanted a gold watch. And you try and get a gold Rolex and see how much they are. It's stupid. And the thing about the Cartier was it was a brushed rose gold, so it's low key gold. It's not like a Rolex, which is freaking high polished yellow gold, which just beacons from across the room. I don't like blingy shit. I like understated elegance. Thanks, Eric. You bet, man. He says you're welcome. Mikey and Angie, what a power couple. That's right, man. We tore it up at the Todd's place, man. I don't know if you saw the picture of Angie and I boogieing. We were cutting a rug. At AT Southwest? See you there. Be there Thursday afternoon. Okay, cool, man. Just holler on my phone. Pick up, that number that I just put up there, so that you guys know. 415-484-5121. Again, call me at 415-484-5121. If you haven't given a thumbs up on this video, give a thumbs up right now, please. It helps the silly algorithm do whatever the hell the algorithm needs to do to make me cooler or whatever. So China flooding market with cheaper goods, bad. Well, I mean, it depends for who. It's not bad for my clients. My clients don't buy that stuff. So it's not bad for my clients. USA imposing crippling tariffs on Canada until they surrender is okay. The world is now boycotting USA at record levels. Let's see how that works, Paulie. Let's see how it works. Let's see. Go ahead, boycott us. We're like this. We're like this. We're like, fuck you. We don't need you. And if you think we do, try it. Boycott it. See how long it lasts. See how good, how well you can go. It's only going to make us stronger. It's the same shit. Like you do what you're doing sanctions on Russia. Now Russia makes all their own shit and they don't need anybody. They're completely independent. So that's what needs to happen with the United States. The United States needs to be completely independent, and not be reliant on other countries where if they decide to stiff us on stuff, they have us by the short hairs. We've had enough, evidently. So, you will see how it plays out. It is a tough game. I have to agree. It's brutal. And there's going to be bloodshed for sure. Canada's reacting. They shut down the power. They're not buying Jack Daniels or whatever. It's like, whatever, man. We will survive. Okay. It's not the end of anything. The world can boycott USA as long as they want, brother. We are the strongest economy. And, maybe that'll change, whatever. I'm not worried about it. I'm selling like a mofo. I'm doing super well. So no problems here. USA trying to conquer Canada. Yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about, brother. I have no idea. I don't want to conquer it. Thoughts on all of these Chinese clones coming out? Dart Seal clones. Really? Are they doing that now? They're supposed to sound pretty darn good for the money, but I feel like they're trying to kill the U.S. economy. Of course they are, brother. I mean, it's the 100-year plan, right? Belt and Road, let's go ahead and put infrastructure throughout the world and half-ass it so that the shit crumbles on Serbians, that was a stab. But, I mean, there's a conspiracy to in my mind, in my thing, I think China's trying to dominate globally, and they do that by taking things out. I don't know about Dart Seal clone. Are you going to be that guy? Remember, would you drive a Ferrari that wasn't a Ferrari, like something that had, a Nissan engine in it or like a Corvette engine or some shit, and you put Ferrari badges on it? Would you be that dildo? Okay, because that's the same dildo that buys Chinese clones. Oh, you're a Chinese clone dildo. You're a clone dildo. It's just any type of clone. Wherever they make it, clones are lame. If you can't get the real thing, don't get it. I was just talking about this the other day. I was talking about today, as a matter of fact. And what was the context? I was like, oh, this was okay. So I bought my gal some earrings. We were we walked into a store. We were just blowing off some time. I bought her some earrings, and she got the earrings, and I paid for them. And afterwards, it turns out that they were sterling silver with gold plating. And I got pissed. I wasn't really pissed. I was just perturbed. I felt like even though they were only $200, I feel like, whatever. I could drop $200 out of my pocket. It wouldn't fucking matter, right? But I've still felt hustled, okay? Because I didn't ask, are they solid gold? For some reason, I just assumed that we're in a jewelry store, and if they're a $200 pair of hoop earrings or whatever, they were three triangles that were kind of stuck together, so they hang. They're dangly things, but they're thin. I thought I just figured they're, if they're $200, they're real gold. But no, stupid me. It's gold-plated sterling silver. And of course, look, it made her happy, so I didn't care, okay? She got some earrings that she wanted. But I don't like that shit, because what it is it's posing as gold. It's fake. It's freaking gold-plated silver. It's for people that want to pose. It's like a copy Hermes purse. You buy the thing and it's fake. And you know what? I don't like imposter fake things. Look, you buy things of quality because you're buying things of quality. So fake stuff, that's for a certain type of person that wants to buy fake stuff and pretend. Now you're pretending. What's that all about? It's just so not me. And I just don't understand it. And it perturbs me. And it's just, I don't know why. It just perturbs me. So that's I don't like anything. I don't like animal print clothing. Stupid. Dude, if you're gonna fucking wear a jaguar or a cheetah, have it be real cheetah. Don't wear fake fucking painted cheetah. It's so gross. It's just so cheesy to me. It's just total, wear the real shit. Don't wear fake leather. Wear real leather. Don't wear, that's just, and of course you can do whatever the hell you want, of course, right? But I feel the same way. So can you how embarrassing it would be to be a Chinese Dart Seal clone? And then what? And then what are you going to do? Are you going to tell people it's a Dart Seal clone from China, but I got a really good deal and it sounds pretty good? Are you going to be that guy? That dildo? Are you going to be or are you even going to be worse where you're going to go, I bought Dart Zeal, and then try and pass it off as Dart Zeal? It's just the whole, everything about it is just, it's lack of integrity to me. It's just lack of integrity on so many different levels that I can't stand it. So anyways, Henry Rollins, why do you say Henry Rollins? I just bought a China DAC. Well, cool, man. If it makes you happy, that's good, but just realize you're supporting a country that oppresses people. Okay. So if you don't give a shit about people being oppressed, then support China. It's oppressing people. It's got slaves. If you feel good because you saved a buck and you're going to chain somebody to a desk because you want to save a buck and that's your prerogative, knock yourself out, brother. It's not my thing to do to other humans, but if you want to do it, go for it. Hi, David from Kansas City. David from KC. Really happy with the Dream DAC you sold me. Thanks, buddy. The thing is in another galaxy compared to every other DAC I've owned, isn't it? And you know what? I can't explain that to you guys. I try to do it on the videos. I can't. There's not enough words. I can't put it into language how different it is. And it's not just different on a hearing level. It's different on an emotional level. It's different on a connection to the music level. David, you probably never knew that you could be connected to the music, did you? You're like, holy shit. Like every time I walk in here, it's like a musical storybook, a big full color 3-dimensional storybook. I'm turning a page every song and the 3-dimensional things and birds are flying out and all this shit. Like it's magical. That's what listening to a system that I design is like. And I don't like to talk like this because I know that everybody talks like this, but at some point I have to just say it. And now we've got and it's proper timing because David is here. He bought something from me, an MPD8 DAC, which is a $26,000 DAC. People are like, oh shit, that's crazy. But look, it's a different galaxy, and it is a different galaxy. It all depends on what you want from your audio system. If you want a real high level experience and you want to emotionally connect to your music, check hi-fi off your list, then maybe you spend a little bit more. Or maybe you just wait. Even my cheap stuff gets you there, but the Dream DAC is it's the last DAC you ever buy. Thanks for the feedback, David. Hey, Mike and the gang, what's up, Derek? Good to see you. Ned Kelly says AudioQuest Edison receptacle will hold any power cord. Very good. Cool. So will a Hubble hospital grade for about $25. I just don't like AudioQuest. It's just a brand that's made in China, as far as I know. And it's just, anything made in that kind of level. As far as I know, maybe AudioQuest has Hubble make it for them or something like that. But typically AudioQuest, not one of my brands. What amps are good with open baffle subs with Magma M 3.7i? You want tube or solid state? I use Calphalon hard anodized aluminum cookware and hard anodized nonstick aluminum cookware. Yeah, I have Calphalon from almost 30 years ago, before I moved to Atlanta, which was 2000. A girlfriend gave me a set of Calphalon hard anodized, and I lost, a couple of them. And the only thing about those is aluminum comes out into your food, and you're ingesting, heavy metals or whatever, aluminum. But those are great pans, man. They lasted me, again, 30 years. I've still got the little saucepan. Mike, I would like to order some 570s. How would my Coda Continuum 8 V3 pair from power perspective? I can look. I know the Continuum is that the integrated. I can look and tell you. I think Coda. I'm pretty sure any Coda would work good. I mean, Coda is a strong amp. It comes from the Threshold background. I know Doug Dale. I trust his designs. Doug has integrity. And they're it's a good brand. It's like, I trust it. It's made in USA. So I think it would be great. I can give you more. Let me see. I'll just look it up. Continuum 8 V3. Coda Continuum 8 V3. Okay. Continuum number 8. 250 watts. Oh, shit, yeah. Oh, wait, into which one did you get? Oh, you got a V3? 400 watts. Okay. Yeah, more than enough. 800 watts by 2 into 4 ohm, more than enough. I wonder if that V3, V2 is just a bias setting, because I'd say go to a V2, man. Get more of that Class A into there. I typically like lower power, higher current amps than higher power, lower current. But either way, yeah, shit, dude. You've got 800 watts by 2, no problem. You're going to thump those 570s, dude. Thump them. I wish we could get the guys that went over to Tom's to come on and tell us about their listening experience, because they went over to Tom's house to listen to the 570s, and they were pretty impressed. And these are steep, dyed-in-the-wool audiophiles. I use Cutco brand knives, cutlery in the kitchen. Both Cutco and Calphalon are made in the USA. Yes, that's right. Cool. Good stuff. You are a rare dealer not to raise prices because of the tariffs. Most Americans are not willing to pay the costs high on Walmart China shit. Yeah, I mean, it's that's kind of like, I'm kind of having a little laugh inside, okay, because your Chinese shit isn't going to be so cheap anymore. So I'm kind of giggling inside a little bit, because I know your Chinese shit now is going to come up into the price where you don't need to buy Chinese shit. You can buy American shit, or you could buy Denmark or German stuff, so look at the result of that. Okay. So the result is you don't buy Chinese stuff and you buy American stuff instead. From an economic standpoint, for the United States and the economy of the United States, that sounds like what is supposed to happen. It causes people to buy American. I saw here he was going to do some crazy tariff on champagne. Imported French champagne was going to have like something crazy, like a 200%, something retarded, right? Which absolutely would stop the import for most part of champagne. But what's it going to do? It's going to completely invigorate the California wine scene. It's going to completely invigorate those manufacturers. So it stimulates the United States. So what he's doing is fuck the rest of the world. I'm doing what's good for the United States. And it is brutal, but it's needed. We were in trouble. We are in trouble. We need to turn our shit around. And these guys are doing unprecedented shit. I mean, Elon Musk, for Christ's sakes, it's like anything could happen. I'm just praying for the best. I got my fingers crossed and I'm praying for the best, because I think the intent is there. The execution is brutal. It's heavy duty. It's heavy handed and heavy, but I think in the end, we're going to be the better for it. We will be all the better. USB was meant for printers. Yes. So there's that. Exactly. USB is a printer protocol. XLR is a microphone protocol. RCA was a telephone protocol, I'm pretty sure. SPDIF with a 75 ohm BNC is like the only thing that is like something that was for digital music, made for that, for digital data transfer. Hubble 8200, 8300i is ivory white, 15 amp and 30 amp hospital grade receptacles, rhodium plated, really the best priced choice, labeled as audiophile grade at 10 times the price. Oh, okay. Is that what the Audio Quest is? Charles, hey Mikey, hey Tribe, what's up, Charles? How are you, buddy? I have a Blue Jeans SPDIF cable going from my streamer to DAC. There you go. Great place to start out. Blue Jeans cable is a no-nonsense cable brand. Just providing basic cables, and that's good. Antique Sound Lab DT monoblock listed for $5K back in the day. So how much are you going to sell them for to the tribe, Dan? Tell us. Make them something crazy, man. You know, and get them out of there, man. I'm guessing Playback Designs does not have I2S. No, they've got something better. They've got P-Link, which is done on a fiber optic network, an ST glass fiber. And it's better than I2S, and it's not I2S. It has higher, it's got more functionality, and it's designed for, well, it's designed for digital transfer. I don't know that it wasn't designed for audio per se. I mean, his protocol was designed for audio. Not a hack. But yeah, no I2S on Playback. The FearTech GTO D3 NGS, a receptacle powered distribution block. A friend says it destroys the PS Audio Power Plant 12 he was using before to plug in his components. That's cool. That's cool. You should try the Puritan Audio Labs. I mean, that's what we all have been using. Puritan Audio Labs, PSM 156. Do I like Audio Research preamps GS? Do you like Audio Research as a brand? I greatly respect Audio Research. It is a, marquee American brand. I mean, it's been around for a very long time with very many excellent products. Back in the day, their preamps were the shit. They were not, you couldn't beat them. Through the years, they've had some really great designs. Then, they get big, and then corporate hands get a hold of them, and they get shifted here and shifted there. And, weird shit happens with the ownership, and weird shit happens with the designs. And, I find that some of the tube brands that were, started out as tubes, and then as they graduated through the years, they tried to make them more clean, right? Less distortion. And what you do there is you're trying, basically, in my opinion, to make a tube amp more like a solid state amp. And at some point you cross a line, and now you've got a sterile tube amp. It doesn't sound tubey. It sounds just kind of yucky. Tubes, I think, sound better as tubey things, high distortion type, in the right places, right? The even order distortion. So I think Audio Research may have lost that to a certain degree. I have not listened to any of their current model stuff. I'm not that real interested in it. But I would love to see the brand come back and be a great brand. It's an American brand. It's got great history. I'd love to see the same for Conrad Johnson, I'd love to see the American brands flourish again. Jeff Rowland, these American brands that are great, but you got to understand these brands are getting long in the tooth, and these guys, the founders want to retire, man. They want to hang with their family. They don't want to deal with us dildo freaking audio bullshit. If you really think about it, if you age in this industry, at some point you freaking had it up to here with the bullshit. You just see the same shit over and over every year, the same bullshit, the same audio mafia running the magazines, and the same dealers doing the same dealer hustle and making these new formats for digital and all this shit. It's just the same bullshit over and over. At some point you've had it up to here. These old dudes had more class and taste in their little finger than our industry does as a whole right now. They really made some cool products back then. They really put a lot of effort into their products. They were really trying to innovate. Now it's like just trying to make something that profits well, So Audio Research is one of those brands that I greatly respect it, but it's like, I think it's, kind of wilted on the vine or wrinkled on the vine a little bit. I don't think they're great like they once were, that's just my take on it. Now if I could get some in here to listen, maybe I would, but I don't know anybody that uses them. I don't have any in my audiophile group, anybody that I talk to, nobody has Audio Research. I don't know where it goes. It probably goes overseas. After watching this for a few hours, I need a feel-good movie. Sweet, man. There's Disney. Always go watch Disney. You know what you can do, brother, is there's plenty of channels that will pump sunshine up your ass. Okay, go watch audiophile. What was Steve Guttenberg? Audiophiliac. You know, he's a happy-go-lucky dude, always smiley, always everything's great. Maybe watch Steve Huff. Everything's beautiful on his channel all the time. You know, I'm the realist. You know, so I provide a service. I provide a juxtaposition. I provide a shot of realism. And so I'm not here to be your babysitter or your cheerleader or whatever. You know, I'm here to give you real good advice. And if you bought a system from me, you wouldn't need a feel-good movie because you'd have a feel-good audio system. So that's where the good feelings come from with me, is buying my audio systems. Playback Design has the highest performing optical interface between streamer and a DAC. That is true. Other manufacturers, HDMI, I2S, interconnects, they will sell you a $4,000 cable. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's the other thing, is the cables to connect this shit. You add a bunch of extra boxes and then you charge people retarded amounts for the cables. The cable for Playback Designs is like, you know, $9 if you go get it. It's because it's data center level. It's commercial data center level. It's the most important shit. It's a twist lock. It can't get pulled out. It's very accurate. Sam, if you like audio research, I've got a monoblock 250 SE, brand new tubes. He needs it gone. I need to buy some gear for Mikey soon. So here's Dano with a pair of monoblocks. Is it one monoblock? Or is it, you said I've got a monoblock. What's he going to do with that? Center channel? So let us know. You pitch it right now, Dano. Pitch it right now, buddy. Hello, Mikey. I'm intrigued by the 1C1 Chesky mini monitor for surrounds on 2.1, more for aesthetics than actual use. Are they functional at lower volume? I don't know, man, but they will be on Luca and his dad will be on my channel coming up. They were supposed to already be on, but Luca was traveling, so I'll bring him around maybe next video or something like that. Wait, next video is Wednesday. Yeah, I could do it on Wednesday. So stay tuned. Mikey, will those Big Nat audio tube amps cause a voltage sag in regular power cords? No. No, I mean, I'm not sure I get. I've never seen a power cord cause a voltage sag. I've never seen a power cord be a culprit of a voltage sag. So I don't know what you're talking about. If you're asking, do the Nat audio tube amps draw so much current that they sag your line? No, they don't. You made a short on them. I probably did. Have you heard of Osborne loudspeakers from Australia? I feel they align with your values of what real. No, gives us these high-end speakers are run for the money. No, I will check them out. Take a look. I will have to. Oh, they look like they look just similar to what do you call those? Duntech or Dunleavy consonants. So he sells consonants, which is Chinese, and he sells Vermeer, which I don't even know if Vermeer is still around. I sell the Vermeer too. He's talking about, that's an old one. So these are old. This website's a little bit old. Looks like he also sells, he makes speakers, and then he also sells. Yeah, so it looks like he's a home-based guy that makes speakers, and then he's also a dealer. That's what it looks like. Yeah, he's just, yeah, they look pretty basic, you know. It's something like this. There's no real reason to import them. I could buy something in America probably that is like this, but it looks like they're a pretty good value. you know, just so hard to find. I'm looking at the drivers. I'm looking at the thing. Yeah, it's like, it's so hard to find speakers that are different. There's so many MDF or wood boxes with drivers in them. They're just, it's very, very hard to make them any bit different. So I search for the things that are unique and different. Suggestions for speakers that sound good at low volume levels. The horns that I have, perfect for that. Low levels, you get all sorts of dynamics. You hear totally into the music very well. Just you can call me up and I'll take care of you. But are you here in the United States? Where are you? I like the royal blue. Thanks, buddy. Oh yeah, on the face of the watch. Yeah, it's nice. Thanks. Mikey, I would love to have you come to Norway. I live with my wife and kid in an apartment. We don't have a big place, but I'm sure we could make some space for you. Cool, man. I'd love to come to Norway. I have to go to Scandinavia sooner or later. I have to go to Norway, Denmark, Sweden, and Finland. Yeah, I got to come up there, man. I want to come up there and check out fjords and do a little yodeling and shit. Wait, is that where is that? That's up there, or is that like Swiss? I think that's Swiss. That's Swiss Alps. Yodelay hee hoo. Mikey and Tribe, Kenny down under. Deborah and I just purchased 3 hi-fi racks for the rig. I'm moving the 470s out by a foot to give them some space. I've been advised to move them back. Your thoughts? Just play with it, man. Figure it out. Yeah, my thoughts are don't just put them in one spot and leave them there. Move them around, and you can put them on wheels. Buy some wheels that are threaded and put those things on wheels and just experiment, and then figure out what works best in your room and what you like the best. Jay, I guess I got somebody else that wants to come to Norway with me. Any thoughts on convergent audio technology? Have you tried before? I have not. They look pretty grandiose, but I've never heard them. Mikey, did you get to audition the benchmark ABH2 that your buddy has? No, man, he didn't bring it. He needs to bring it by. I've sold several people out of that DAC. I mean, I can give you an opinion, but I think I'll kick its ass. He really loves it, man. He really likes it, but he likes it from a engineering standpoint. When I ask him why he likes it so much, he goes into its circuit design and what it does, why he likes it. And that to me doesn't mean shit. It's like, let me hear how it sounds. I don't care how brilliantly engineered it is. Let me hear how it sounds. I've heard way too many brilliantly engineered things that are no big deal. So I don't have any thoughts on it. Was the weird brand name you're thinking of shit? No, it's not. No, it was it's a European brand, and it's from like Poland or something like that. Can't remember. I can't remember what it was. Henkel, German. Yeah, yep, right. What do you think is bad about the imaging from KEF speakers? I don't think, I never said that I think KEF's image bad. Imaging, as you understand, is easy to do. Okay. That's not that big of a deal. Like if your system images, big fucking deal. Okay. That's like number 1 out of 10 things that it needs to do, right? That's the first thing it better do. Okay. If it doesn't do it, I'm turning around and walking out, or if you're hiring me, I'm like, oh, I can fix this easily. Imaging is done by speaker placement in the room. Okay. You need to set your speakers right, and then you're going to get a proper image. The better the DAC is, the better it images as well. And if it's a phono, then it would be the phono pre that does that, and the cart and whatever. I mean, I don't even know. There's a lot of shit in analog. So I don't know. I don't know anything about KEF. I just don't like plastic shit on my speakers. I don't want plastic on my speakers, period. So I don't like KEF. KEF is like, it's a mainstream brand that is, they make 1 million of them. You can buy them at Best Buy. I mean, it's not my kind of stuff. And it doesn't mean it's not good. It's just not my interest area. I have DiTerra cookware made in Italy. There you go, man. Sweet. We're going to have a bake off in a second. I got to check out that DiTerra. There you go, man. Yeah, mine was called shit, I forgot it now. Let's see. It was called cookware fry pans. I think that's, oh man, I'm not going to find it because I tried to find it this way last time. Heston. Okay. Hestan, Heston Nanobond. You know, it was $400 for two frying pans. But geez, dude, I just used it. Sweet. It's pretty cool. They're nice. Tribe, please like and subscribe, people, as it doesn't cost anything. Thanks, Audiophiles. Thanks, Kenny. Kenny's got a channel too. Kenny's Hi-Fi Down Under. You can watch him. He is quite the showman. Him and Deborah. I'm gonna go visit those guys, and I'm gonna see Shane, and I'm gonna see Marty, who never shows up on the live streams. So that'll be fun. And somebody else was just down under that told me. I can't remember who. Glad I build my own. You build your own frying pans? Wusthof, thank you. Ah, there it is. There it was. Wusthof. I knew it wasn't Henkel's. I'm like, Henkel's is the cheap shit. You know, Wusthof is exactly what it was. Thank you, man. Thank you. David Gilden, I listen to your album, Ancestral Voices. You're an amazing player. Yes, man. We're going to hear him live in Texas. Mikey, I'm the draft guru. You need a draft line with the high-end water and killer NA on draft. Let's make a deal. There you go. Do they have kegs of NA beer? I've never even thought of that, you know. By the way, Dano makes draft delivery systems. So anybody that has we've got a professional guy in the tribe that will do your beer delivery systems, refrigerated, nice cold delivery of frosty suds. They're beautiful, man. You should see these things. He sends me pictures every once in a while of his installs, and they're crazy. 2 hours. I'm going to try and burn through these last ones and then get on. A custom Breitling with a diamond bezel. I do not wear diamonds. Mikey, as a Playback Designs future customer, I am concerned that you can't get products until June because one man is on vacation. Well, then don't buy the brand. Seems a little bit ominous for support issue. They don't need support. You know, they don't need support. You either believe in it or you don't, you know. He's not on vacation. He's building a home in Switzerland. He lives between Switzerland and the United States. Sometimes he's in Switzerland. Sometimes he's in the United States. So if you're going to buy from me, then I buy and I inventory, you know, so I have things in stock. So it doesn't matter if he says, I've got one, maybe two left right now. So if you want to buy, I've got two of them. Okay. So I have I have them, but yeah. And he is building a house out there. And man, sometimes there's supply problems. You know, look, we just put huge tariffs on aluminum. So the aluminum that I don't know where he gets his aluminum from a company in Santa Barbara, you know, but who knows where the hell they get their aluminum from, you know? So maybe they have aluminum supply problems. So all of a sudden he can't get chassis for it. It happens all the time. There's always you know, supply chain issues with getting shit manufactured. But yeah, I mean, if you're concerned about it, Glenn, then don't buy it. You know, simple. Just don't buy it. They gold plate the silver earrings to lower the dielectric skin resistance. There you go. It's like take the veil off your lady compared to copper. There you go, man. Right on. So many Americans aren't picking up on this. Trump and the oligarchy are making a move to try and conquer Canada. 51st state thing is not a joke. Pay attention, guys. Okay, so why do I care? Why do I care? Tell me. I mean, I'm just honestly, I just don't know. I mean, so I imagine, I mean, okay, so you're just bringing me into the discussion now because it's not something that I'm thinking about talking about, but I would imagine it would be some sort of a business deal. I would imagine that it would be like, look, we take you in under our constitution so that you guys can do better. That's what I would imagine. I mean, I would imagine, you know, and there would be trades and things and whatever that somehow bring you guys in, make us stronger, right? Like, you know, our military goes all the way up into Canada and protects North America, you know, and then we get Mexico too. And, you know, who fucking knows? I don't know, dude. I can't stand politics, bro. I can't stand it. You know, all I want is the government to get the fuck away from me. Okay. I don't need your checks. I don't need shit from you. Fuck off and do what you need to do on your own. Okay. Get away. That's how I am with government. Okay. So closing down all this shit left and right, sweet. I'm not about government bureaucracy for my country. I'm about freedom, you know, and us doing the shit for ourselves, not relying on the government. Okay. And then making the soil better for us to do our own businesses here and make it easier for people to have the American dream. And Trump is talking about taking away, you know, income tax here, from what I understand. So, you know, I mean, people will be able to make more money and keep more money. Now, that's the pitch, right? We don't know. It could be bullshit. It could be a complete hustle. It could, you know, but I'm not going to, you know, worry about it, you know? So, I really don't know, bro. I'm not paying attention. I'd really rather not pay attention, to be honest, you know? I don't know how that stuff gets done. Wouldn't we have to vote? You know, I presume. High-end fashion is just the same Walmart clothes with a label stuck on it, though. That's not true. A lot of high-end audio is the same, though. That's the problem. Yeah, but it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. Take it from a guy that's bought Versace and bought, you know, Levi's. It's not the same. Okay. And even if it looks like it's the same fabric, it doesn't hang the same. It doesn't wear the same. It does, you know, there's more to it. Plus, we're not even discussing about the luxury market and why people buy luxury brands, which is for pride. Okay. As bad as you want to get all religious and say, well, pride is rooted in the devil, you know, whatever. People buy to be proud of shit. And if you spend more on it, many times you are more proud of it, you know. And if it's a, you know, you know, like the Breguet that's from they've been building, you know, making fine timepieces since the 1870s. So if you buy something from, you know, Valentino or something like that, you know, I mean, you're buying something that is a long-standing Italian design house that's been there for however long, a long ass time, with really, really great history. So it gives you pride to wear a Valentino piece if that's what your trip is, but it's absolutely not the same as Chinese bullshit clothes from Walmart. I know this because I look at those clothes. I'm a design weirdo. And when I go to we have a place here, if I go to look at watches or whatever, that's the same area that has Valentino and Dolce and Gucci and all these. And I go into those stores and I touch the clothing and I look at the stitching and I look at the hems and I look at the collars and I look at the fabrics and I look at the patterns and I look at how it's cut and I look at how it's put together. And what I'm doing is I'm sizing it up. I'm trying to determine, let me see if there's anything to this shit. And there is. You go to some of these, the one Valentino was very impressive to me. You know, the pieces, not things I would wear, but the build and some of the women shit, like fuck the men shit. Like Valentino men stuff is whatever, lame. Okay, the stuff that I saw, no way. But the Valentino women shit was like, whoa, on point. They celebrate the woman, man. It's like you just look at the stuff that they make and you're like, they really celebrate the woman. Like they are like the woman is held in the highest regard. The dude is like, the stuff that I saw at Valentino for the dudes was like, it was cringeworthy. But the female, you're like, holy shit. So they're all about the female, in my opinion. It's just Mikey's opinion. When I walked in there, I don't know shit, right? but I have an eye for manufacturing because I am a manufacturer. It's not the same. It's not the same as cheap Chinese clothing. Cheap Chinese clothing falls apart. You buy a Valentino, you'll have it for life. So, and it's not really a problem. What is my cheapest high-end speaker then? $2,500. We got a new guy, but welcome to our live stream, Jay. You're welcome here. Thoughts on Dyne Audio Confidence 20s? Know nothing about them, but I think Dyne Audio, I don't want Dyne Audio made some great drivers. I don't know how their speakers are voiced. They might be a little bit hi-fi sounding. I'm not familiar with Dyne Audio, but that would be my gut instinct, would be that they're a little bit analytical potentially. Maybe somebody else can help us. Get all-clad or Demir cookware. Yeah, I've got a couple all-clad pieces, but they don't have the titanium coating that is on the Nanobond from Heston. All-clad was right next to it, and you can put your hand and wipe on. You can feel on all-clad. You feel the machining, the little teeny lines that go on all-clad that make the stainless steel. Where the machine went around or whatever. You rub your finger on it and you can feel the little ridges almost. You can feel there's a little, you can even see it. You look at Heston and it's like a mirror. It's like polished chrome, but it's not chrome, but that's what it looks like. You could see yourself in it. So just imagine that surface is it's not a nonstick surface, but it acts like one, but it has no Teflon or anything like that. But I do have all clad and stuff is I like this better so far, but I just boiled my pasta in an all-clad pan tonight. I have the copper core. Hey, Mikey and Tribe, cheers. Luther, what's up? Luther, welcome. I gotta get out of here. I gotta freaking get out of here. What amps are good with open baffle subs with Magnapans 3.7? Give me options, tube and solid state. Which ones do you like? Man, I mean, I would need more. Okay, so your options are NAT audio for tubes, NAT audio, and for solid state, audio analog from Italy, audio ANALOGUE, audio analog. Same here. You're really making me laugh on the dildo joke. I can't stand fake things. Doesn't it bug you? Like fake plants, yeah, such as fake wood inside a car. I know. To the topic, I bought a vintage Shure V15 Type 3 moving magnet coil. Cool, man. That's awesome. I know nothing about turntables. I defer people. I had a guy call me the other day. I'm like, look, dude, if you want me to consult on turntables, I'm going to need to defer you to somebody else. I'm not going to try and sell you vinyl or a vinyl system. And in the end, he's like, you know what? I've already got one, and I don't really. Basically, I told him, look, if you've got vinyl and you enjoy playing your records, just stay where you're at. But if you're going to try and get really world-class sound and you want to do it with a vinyl rig and not a digital rig, it's going to cost you minimum $50,000 for your vinyl setup. Maybe people will argue with me or whatever, but vinyl is expensive to get it really good. It is very expensive, and it's a rabbit hole, man. And there's so many moving parts in that. Or if you're into big game fishing, I could ask my friend who runs a guided fishing business called Camp Halibut. He have a webpage. You can check it out if you're into it. That sounds fun, man. Big game fishing in Norway. That sounds awesome, man. I could dig it. Do you have plate amps? A plate amp? No, but I have a subwoofer with a plate amp on it for sale. A Rel that I'd sell cheap. Next year, maybe we could do it. Yeah, man. Just keep in touch, dude. Get into contact with me on WhatsApp. You can just dial me on WhatsApp. Bootlegging and illegal importing has been going on for years. The black market cigarette market is very big in Australia. You're kidding. And that's thanks to tax prices on the legit ones. Yeah, that's like if they who wants to speculate as to what's going to happen when they take cash away? What are we going to use when we don't want to use our digital currency? It's going to sprout something. It. Coda is a stellar amp. For a little while, they made amplifiers for Duddleston, Legacy Audio, in Springfield. Yeah, I know that. You sure did. The fishing is north of Norway, not Oslo. All right. Finding there, I've got some guys that are in the north. Man, I'd have to get a hold of them. I've got a group of guys that used to buy my power cords there in Norway, and Jesus, I'd have to look them up. God, I have to dig into my emails, and he's got a group. There's a little group up there, and they live right, probably exactly where you're talking about, right near the water in the north of Norway. Finding Nemo, great soundtrack. There you go. That's why we like you. You don't give us all the fluff and hi-fi huff. Yes, man. I mean, I'm the juxtaposition. I am the alpha and they are the omega, or whatever the hell. One monoblock, $4,500. I'll pay for shipping. I do not have the original box. What is anybody going to do with the single monoblock, Dano? Good luck. Jesus, you're going to have to sell it to somebody that finds another monoblock, another guy with a single monoblock, or somebody that wants to put it on a center channel. Or you could use it for a subwoofer if someone has a single subwoofer. And if you don't, you could just put a subwoofer in a box and buy Dano's amp. The Grand Monuments Osborne can attest they sound very good for the money. Cool. But there's no reason to import it from Australia. That's a long haul. Probably cost a lot of money to get them here. And by the time you get them here, and then you've got something like that, you know, may not make sense. But they look good, man. Sure, you could do some jodeling from the fjords if you like, but that's a Swiss thing. That's what I thought, man. The aluminum cones from Canada. Aluminum comes from Canada. Yeah, well, there's something called, what is it, Alcon? Is Alcon United States? Aluminum all doesn't come from Canada. United States, L-U-M-I-N-U-N. Okay, the top 5 largest U.S. aluminum companies. Alcoa, that's it. So we've got Alcoa. Market capitalization is $9.65 billion. We've got Century Aluminum, $1.84 billion. We've got Kaiser Aluminum Corporation, $1.18 billion, all United States. We've got Ornette Corporation and Noranda Aluminum Holding. So it looks like we've got some aluminum companies. They're going to get a punch in the arm. They're going to get a booster. So yeah, maybe we have been buying from Canada, but I guess that will probably change. I don't know. Mikey, what is your opinion on Audio Note Mantra that excludes filters and upsampling on their DACs? To each his own. Yeah, I don't have an opinion on it. It sounds good to me when I listen to it. I don't know how that works in other systems, but Audio Notes always sounds good when I go to their rooms. Tall liar. China, India, and Russia export more aluminum than Canada. Uh-oh. Eric's a fighter, man. He's throwing down, man. He's got fisticuffs going. Thanks you, Hi-Fi Jesus, for dropping the knowledge. Thanks, man. Lucky to have you enlightening us about the Hi-Fi BS and providing us value-based product. You bet. Like the stuff that I sell, even the $2,500 DACs, even the $2,500 stuff, you know, it's still going to be top of class for sure. I do not, in order to put my name on it, I don't carry. I have to have, it has to meet has to meet my level of my standard. Trump's policy of eviscerating the audio industry. Oh, blame it on Trump, right? Just don't just blame Trump. Maybe we could blame it on Russia. The Trump trade war is the reason Playback Designs is having supply chain issues. This will be a problem for a while now. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not. But you're entitled to believe whatever you want, brother. We can we don't need to make it in aluminum. We can make it in 3D printed. We can 3D print aluminum. We could make it in magnesium. We could make it in steel. We could make it in anything we want. We could make it in wood. We could make it in Delrin. We could make it in a lot of shit, bro. It doesn't need to be aluminum, you know. Canada is a liability. Okay, so these guys are You guys are getting fucking down on it. SW1X. Yeah, they've got to come around, man. SW1X was similar to like Pink Fawn when I first met Pink Fawn. Very DIY-ish. And I think SW1X, I talked to him a while back about bringing the product in, but it was still kind of DIY-ish, kind of very much one by one handmade. I can't take brands like that. But once they come around and they get some production going and they get some money under them, then maybe interested. World thinks USA is a liability right now. Hopefully their hunger to conquer Canada doesn't start World War III. Oh man, yeah. I don't think so, brother. I'm not even gonna get into it. I'm pretty fucked on this monoblock. That's why it's cheap. Yeah, how much are they normally? Alcoa, yeah, that's right. That's what I was thinking. Mikey, Little River Band, it's a long way there. Hey, everybody. If your system is bright sounding, that song will kill you. So that's a good test song for it. Make America Great Again. Go Ziggy. No one is immune from Trump derangement syndrome. I know. It's funny, man. It's always Trump's fault. Look, he's a mover and a shaker. He fucks shit up. He's a bull in a china shop. I get it. People get scared. And, but you know what? We need change. And if it comes hard, it comes hard, and it's going to come hard, clearly. So, anyways, I have this set up. My arm is not long enough. I need to get a longer arm so I can sit in the middle. Otherwise, I'm off to the side like this. And the focal area is on my back corner where the tapes are. So anyways, all right, everybody. Let's see. 17K for one monoblock, 34K for a pair. Okay, so it's a $17,000 monoblock that he is charging $4,500 for. That's pretty cool. It's cheap. Must be a nice monoblock. It was Rage Against the Machine weekend for me on my system. Nice. I love Rage, dude. It's awesome. I like watches too, by the way, but I wear Timex. Dude, are those still around? Like, I haven't seen a Timex. I've seen Casios all over. But not Timex. Wouldn't that be cool if Timex it was like still around and made some cool thing, because it's an old cool brand. There's some of these old brands that I like Rado of Switzerland. Some of those are kind of cool. Charles, what's up, Charles? All right, everybody, I gotta go, man. It's getting me tie. Yes, Timex is around. Cool. I'll check them out, man. I haven't seen one in a while. I don't even know what they look like. They need to make a Grand Timex. Exactly. Like the Grand Seiko. I agree. Check out their website. I will. Running late, homie. I know. I got to go. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. See you. I will see you guys on Wednesday. Later.